Well, 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 what do we have here? This is the 2024 HP Omen, brand new laptop from HP. And this is a 14-inch laptop. They market it as a gaming laptop. It is, but it's a little bit of a stretch. It also has a nice OLED screen on it. This laptop here is kind of similar to some of the new trends that we're seeing. A lot of laptops have, you're seeing the G14 this year going this route, where it's going for this kind of all-metal design, OLED, kind of going for the thin style. A lot of these laptop brands are marketing these as gaming laptops. I mean, you can game on them, but I mean, there's a lot of laptops these days that aren't marketed as gaming laptops that are going to perform very similar. I mean, you can get like ThinkBooks from Lenovo, 14-inch ThinkBooks. You can get these with 4050s and 4060s in them, RTX 4050, 4060, and they're going to game very well. You can get this with also Intel as well, and it'll game very well. And then you can get laptops like this that are kind of, I mean, sometimes they're marketed as gaming, but I don't necessarily think of them as gaming laptops. I think of them as more hybrid laptops, 14-inch hybrid laptops. You can see here it's quite thin. Actually, it may not show up well on camera, but it is actually a very thin laptop. The screen itself is, a little bit of thickness there, but the actual laptop itself there is very thin. That's really nice there. And it's going for an all sleek kind of design, very hybrid. So, people who are looking for something they can game on, but also, do creative type tasks, take it with you to work, take it with you to school. It's going to be very sleek, nice package. Kind of like a MacBook to some extent, but it's running Windows, so you can do more variety of tasks than a Mac OS basically. But yeah, it looks pretty nice, all things considered. I've already done a comparison kind of stream and a comparison video to some extent between this and some other 14-inch laptops, so I've had a little bit of experience with it. But let's see here. Weight 1,600 grams, so that's 3.5 pounds or so. Pretty light, actually. You can see the charger here is also not too big. This is the charger that came with it. Again, I've done a live stream. Some of you guys might have seen it. It's only 140 watts, which I find to be a little bit of a problem. We'll get into that later, but it's a very small charger. 400 grams. So the combination of it, I mean, you're not really looking at that much weight, despite the fact that it's all metal. Yeah, 2,100 grams or so. On the left side, you get Thunderbolt in, headphone, microphone combo jack. On the right side there, you get 2 USB-A, so you're getting pretty good port selection on the sides. On the back there, which I do like, they have some more ports there. So they have the power in, primary power in is USB-C on this laptop. It has display out and all of that, and then also HDMI. This one here is a Thunderbolt there. You don't get as much power. I actually do when I did my live stream, when I plugged in the laptop to this one here, it doesn't supply full wattage. I think it only gets about 100 watts over this one here, whereas this port here will take the full wattage of the charger. So when you're primarily using the laptop, you probably want to charge it in the back. You can still get 100 watts on this for day-to-day stuff, but if you're gaming on it or doing very high-end stuff, you're going to want to go to the back port there. Interestingly, to get inside the laptop, there's only 4 screws, which is really strange, to be honest. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So few screws on a laptop. Yeah, it doesn't feel good to get inside because the clips there are really strong. These here, they're like a hinge style. I guess that you'd have to pull up or something. It's really strange, but just a metal bottom, nothing special. Keeps it light, but it's pretty firm. Inside's not bad. It's a kind of an ultrabook style laptop with some NVIDIA graphics in there, so kind of a hybrid style creative laptop. It's nice that it does have a vapor chamber there, so you're going to get actually pretty good cooling. This is an Intel model, so it'll run a little bit warm. 185H on this, so very high up the stack. Core Ultra 9, which is better, more efficient than 14th gen, 13th gen, for example, but it can still get warm. That's on there. That's nice. Should run decently cool. Dual fan setup there, nice fins density on it as well. Good speakers on it. You get the more modern. You get the higher end speakers there, the higher watt speakers, rectangular size. Not a massive battery on here. We'll see how the battery life is later, but you'll get decent battery life, I hope, out of it. So this one here, it's not a huge battery, 68 watt hours. Decent for a small laptop, to be honest, though. I've recently tested some small laptops with 80 watt hours, which is great, but I mean, you do get a vapor chamber in here, so there's not a lot of room to put a bigger battery. And then you get a single NVMe for upgrade with a nice copper heatsink on it. So the inside looks good. RAM is soldered, so get the amount of RAM you want. This one here has 32 gigabytes. It's fine. I don't think that's going to be an issue for many years. You can see here that the keycaps are a little strange. They have the black center around them, and then they have this white kind of this translucent ring around them. It's nice because you can really see the RGB. You can see me too. but you can really see the RGB there on the keycaps, right? Like very obvious there's some keycap RGB there. That looks nice. And then you obviously get the screen here, very little bezel on it, very glossy screen, which I actually like. Some people don't like that. Glossy screens, the colors look more vibrant. So this is a nice OLED screen. You can see that the blacks are very rich. And then of course you do get that kind of glossy texture to it. So, I mean, that's up to you. Camera up on the top there. Double hinge style there, so it looks good. In the hand, the laptop actually feels, I don't know if the fans are going, but it feels very sturdy, right? Very sturdy in the hands. Other than the fans going for some reason, it's basically rock solid. It's got the little bum there, you can see, right? The little bum style there, which sticks out from the back. I actually like that because it allows you to put some I/O in the back there. And, you know, you power in your HDMI, which are annoying if they're on the sides. If you have power HDMI coming out of the sides, it is kind of annoying. Software that's included, you get the Omen hub, which we'll look at in a sec. You do get McAfee, unfortunately. This is some HP stuff. A lot of this stuff you can probably get rid of. You don't need all this, like hardware diagnostics window. Like HyperX, a lot of this stuff can probably go. There's a lot of HP stuff in here. McAfee can go, obviously. But I don't see any like third-party bloat, just kind of HP bloat, other than McAfee, obviously. Yeah, so McAfee can come out. You can probably get rid of a lot of that HP stuff. This is good software here, though. You can see here this Omen stuff. You can come in here. You have games, all this kind of stuff here. Optimizer is good. I think it kills off a lot of the RAM, so you can go like this, click like that, and go, you know, manual boost. You can tell it what you want to, you know, get rid of, disable files and printers. This system here has 32 gigabytes of RAM, so you're not really hurting for RAM. If you had a 16 gigabyte, you could use this, because I mean, you're going to go through the RAM a lot faster. You come in here and you go like manual boost, for example. It'll kill off some of the apps that you don't want. You know, we were at 1096 there, and now we're down. So we're down a gig, basically. It's killing off some stuff. So you get an extra gig of RAM. Actually, killed off like 3 gigs of RAM, actually. So that's good. I mean, if you're hurting for RAM, you have like a 16 gigabyte system. That really is actually quite nice. I'm not sure why other OEMs don't use that. I really like that, actually, on the HP laptops, this Omen. Because it just gets rid of all the crap. And if you have a 16 gigabyte laptop, I mean, you're always going to be struggling with RAM if you have a lot going on. So it's nice that you can just really kill off a lot of that crap here. So that's really nice here. Come in here, you hit Omen, for example. There's some other stuff like lighting. You know, you can change this. Right now it's in yellow there, red there, purple there. Let's come in here and make that also purple. Looks like it's zonal, which is a little weird. Let me get out here. Can you do like one key? Advanced? Maybe not. You can't do one key? Select zone to begin. It's a little weird, but purple? I don't know. I don't know why you can't. It's weird that it's like you can't do all of them. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. Now we have that. I like the purple though. It's nice. It's just a little strange that you can't, yeah, like cut through. Like you can't do all of them. It's strange. Whatever. It is what it is. Performance control is useful though. You can go eco mode, balance, and performance. We'll go through these later. You can, you know, go through thermal control. Right now we're on max, so the fans will go. I'll come down here. I'll go auto. It'll kill off, right? So if you found the fans annoying, you can come in there and kill that off there. Performance, you know, these are the fans manual. I just leave it on auto most of the time. And then you can come in here and decide, you know, do I want balanced, eco, whatever. Very good. We're on hybrid mode. You can put it back to integrated graphics if you're only going to be playing games. It might actually be useful on this laptop because we are going to be so wattage limited on this laptop. So it might be a good idea to actually put it on integrated when you're playing games only. That's pretty good there. So you can actually control quite a bit here. This is good software. So obviously it's a nice glossy screen. Some people may not like that. I do like glossy screens. I find that the glossy screens, just the colors pop more. High resolution, 2.8K by 800p. So it's higher than a 1600p screen. At a 14-inch screen size, it's actually quite nice. It looks very crisp as a result of that. You get dynamic resolution, 60 or 120, or you can just do these manually. 48 is weirdly low. I'll just leave it on dynamic or whatever. And then when I unplug and I do my battery test, it'll go back to 60. So that's good. Very beautiful screen. Looking at it, it's a very nice screen, actually. We'll come in here. Rich reds, you know, great for creators, basically. You can see this is going to be a very creator style focused laptop. You can see here it does say, you know, NVIDIA Studio drivers. It's, I mean, it's the line between gaming laptop and creator laptops is being blurred. Obviously, gaming laptops typically have, you know, thicker chassis, more watts going to different system components. However, with a 4050, 4060, 4070, a lot of the time you can actually decrease the watts to those components and you'll still get really good performance. It's just going to come down to, a lot of the times it's actually CPU and cooling and things like that. But this is, this one is really actually geared significantly more towards creators than towards gamers, because it is a very wattage limited platform. So, right, like that's a very rich red there. I don't know if it'll show up well on camera, but it does look very good. Obviously it's an OLED, so you're going to get like absolute blacks there, nice and crisp. My camera's a very hard time with OLED screens. It just struggles basically. Yeah, you can see it's a very nice screen actually on this laptop. Extremely rich, high color space. The glossiness does add, to me, a little bit more pop. If you're not into glare, I mean, it might drive you crazy because it is fairly glossy actually. It's not a touch screen or anything like that. It's just glossy, probably to make the colors pop a little bit more. It's a choice they decided to go with. And it's not a gaming laptop, so I don't, yeah. Okay, so we'll do the audio test here. Get this out here. Yeah, so it's a very nice listening experience. There's better speakers out there for sure. Some 16-inch creator laptops have better speakers. They're larger chassis. They are. In the 14-inch realm, I would say this is similar to something like a ThinkBook. I brought on that ThinkBook earlier. The IdeaPads from Lenovo, they're really nice. The Pro models are really nice, really good audio. It's very nice on this laptop. It wouldn't stand up to something like a G14. The G14 2023 or 4, especially the 4, have much better speakers than this, but they're like top, like actual top for 14-inch Windows laptops. This one here would be also very highly rated. You're going to be way above like your typical business laptops. It's actually above most gaming laptops, to be honest, like considerably higher. Really, you're going to be getting into like a 16-inch chassis to really get better speakers. So the actual media consumption of this laptop is quite nice. Great screen, great audio. Okay, the keyboard here, you can see we already went through the RGB part in that software. It's a really kind of a strange looking keyboard, but I'm going to tell you the honest truth, it's quite nice to type on. I'll do a quick typing test here. Yeah, so it's a really nice typing experience. It's a little strange to first get used to because you don't have much separation between the keys. Like you actually have it rolls down, whereas I'm used to chiclet style. I guess I'd call them that where they're completely separated on most laptops. So there's a little bit less, I don't know, chasm between that. This is one of the snappier keyboards that I've used. I would say, I mean, there are better keyboards out there on some laptops that I'm used to, I would say. More of a traditional style keyboard here. This is just what I'm reviewing. You can see it's more traditional. ThinkBooks have very nice keyboards in general, but you can see like there's the separation between them. This is also a very snappy keyboard, so it's a good comparison. And this is an excellent typing experience. I'm more used to that separation, I would say, but I could see getting used to this keyboard very fast. And this is an excellent, excellent typing experience. So despite the fact that the keys look kind of strange, almost like a toy, I guess I'd say, it is actually a really nice typing experience. The trackpad is also very smooth, quite large. You can see that there. And the click on it is nice. There's better trackpads out there in terms of the nice sharper click, but it's pretty nice. So, okay, we'll do some Cinebench here, just primarily to check noise and temperatures. We'll come in and we'll open up that. Yeah, so you can see there we're putting a lot of watts into the CPU, which is good. We're just doing only Cinebench. We're not doing, gaming. So this system only has a certain amount of watts the whole system can do. But if you're not gaming, it can dump a lot of watts into that CPU at one time. 75, 80 watts there. So I do expect reasonably good performance here. 50 or so, relatively quiet. Let's throw it in this in like max mode. And it does get a little noisier. Does it need to? That's the thing. For just CPU tasks, I think you could primarily just leave it in auto. However, if you're doing pure gaming, you may want to throw it in max. It may do it on its own, but it's, it's not that bad actually in terms of noise. Here's a look at some benchmarks. You can see here that the Cinebench score is pretty good on the 185H, 17,000 or so on performance mode here. Technically, the system is able to supply enough watts to the CPU here when the GPU is not being used. So in terms of pure CPU tasks, it should be fine. You can see that the Wi-Fi is extremely fast, obviously. Wi-Fi 7 is going to have very good performance. That's as fast as my Wi-Fi goes, however. Battery life is fantastic on this laptop. You can see here that we're getting probably, if mixed use overall, around 6 to 10 hours, kind of depending on what you're doing. Here I'm doing idling, and you can see we're probably getting about 10, 11, or even 12 hours at 88%. Once you start to actually use the laptop browsing, and that's probably going to be more like 7 or 8, which is fantastic actually. YouTube, you can see here that we're doing 1080p 60 YouTube. We're talking about 10 watts or so when we're doing 1080p YouTube. You can see we're getting about 365 minutes or so. So again, I'd probably anticipate about 5 or 6 hours of YouTube watching, which is actually quite good for this Intel CPU here. Okay, here's a look at the webcam. It's actually doing a really good job. It's a really nice webcam. I have a little bit of light on the right, a little on the left, very little dead on. And as you can see, the separation between the contrast there, and it's doing a really good job, actually. It's not oversaturating me. I'd call this a pretty challenging scene. It's fairly dark here. It's bringing up the reds a little bit, making me look a little bit kind of red, despite the fact that I'm also looking pale. So I look kind of like tired and sick. But overall, it's doing a good job. The polling rate is good, and this is an extremely demanding scene here. So I'm pretty happy with this webcam here. Again, high-level creator laptop. They may market it as a gaming laptop, but it's a professional gaming. It's a professional creator laptop, so you want it to have a really nice camera. Okay, so we're going to do some Ghost of Tsushima here. I got a little bit further in the game, so I'm not just being murdered while I'm trying to record this. 1800p, native. It's not going to run well, put it that way. Yeah, you can see there. The GPU on this system is only pulling 50 watts. And so unfortunately, we're just not getting really that great performance here. Now it is native on high. Fairly demanding newer game, but I mean, you can see the GPU is not pulling a ton of watts, 50 watts or so. The CPU also is not going to be able to get a lot of watts, unfortunately, but we'll come in here, let's run a little bit of DLSS, see what we can do here. Yeah, so you'll be doing okay on high, that higher resolution, but you are going to need some DLSS. Throw it on DLSS quality here, and you're getting close to 60. Right, not bad. We can throw on a little bit more here. Maybe balance, that should get us up there a little bit there. Yeah, and it doesn't really make a big difference actually. So this will get you over 60. Balanced DLSS on that native 2.8K resolution. Yeah, very high is pretty tough here. Even with balanced DLSS, definitely you can really tell the difference when it's on. Wow, this is one of those games where you actually can tell when the graphics are up. Let's throw on some more DLSS maybe. Maybe performance. Hopefully that can get us up there. Yeah, it's still not enough. Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to be probably stuck with high. It's still respectable. I mean, high is still respectable. This is high now with that higher DLSS on performance. So yeah, realistically, high is a little bit out of the realm of this laptop. I mean, I always say that you can get away with low wattage on a 4060. 50 is like silent mode for like a gaming laptop with this GPU. So I mean, I often do play games like that, but I am anticipating that I'm going to be using a fair amount of DLSS. With this one here, I mean, typically a gaming laptop with a 4060, you're going to be at about 80 watts, which I consider almost full power. The difference between 50 and 80 though is pretty considerable here. It's still respectable. You're still getting good performance, but you're not going to have these games cranked up. Let's throw another game on here though and just see the difference. Okay, this is Baldur's Gate here now. We'll go with native. So we're going to go native resolution, and that looks good there. So we're going to go native resolution on Ultra. And that's doing pretty well. You can see indoor areas. You'll get about 45 or so. This is at that native resolution, higher resolution. Not bad. I mean, obviously a big, thick gaming laptop's going to do better, but this is pretty good actually. This game's pretty CPU intensive and GPU intensive. It's kind of 50-50. So it may look easy to run, but it's actually really not a very easy to run game. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's come in here and we will go with a little bit of DLSS. I wonder if quality can get us over 60. Pretty close, yeah. And this is a very demanding area of the game. You can see when you move around, you get drop down. This is kind of just where it is. When you're indoors, it'll go up a bit here. You want to just do it hang out here. Right, it's got nice pink hair. Out here, yeah, it'll drip down a little bit there. When there's more NPC, so this game, when I say it's CPU and GPU intensive, it all depends where you are. Some areas of the game, it's not too bad, but you can see here, once these NPCs start coming in, look at that, even on balanced, it's starting to take a hit. Right, all these NPCs, because that hits the CPU there. Right. This game is demanding on CPU and GPU as a result of that. When you come in here and all those people are gone, the FPS goes way up, like 70 or so. So yeah, so I mean, games like this are going to be well within the reach of this pretty low wattage 4060. You'll be no problems. I play this game actually at this resolution on another laptop typically, and I typically play it with a 4060. The 4060 is capable of higher watts on that system. However, I often throw on silent mode, which hits at about 50 or 55 watts. Anyways, you can watch, I do it in all my videos. You can just watch them. That's typically how I play. So this is kind of what I shoot for here, kind of balanced DLSS on like silent mode on some laptops, which on this is kind of full bore. So yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to game on this 4060 and the CPU. However, because it's so wattage limited, you're going to be basically equating what you find on like a silent mode on some other laptops. Okay, I guess that's the review here. That's the HP Omen here. I'm not sure why the fans aren't shutting off, but whatever, it is what it is. What do I think of the laptop? Well, I think it's mismarketed heavily. I've seen people talk about this here as a gaming laptop. I've seen it on the Lenovo. I've seen it on the HP website, sometimes referenced as a gaming laptop. It's not really a gaming laptop. We'll put it that way. Gaming laptops, just because it has RTX graphics, doesn't mean it's a gaming laptop. It means that it can game, right? There goes the fan. It's a hybrid style laptop, right? So, I mean, you can get into laptops like this here. I brought this in earlier, the ThinkBook, right? You can get this with Intel Arc, like the same CPUs. You can also get it with a 4050 and a 4060. I think it actually runs at a higher wattage, technically. That's not a gaming laptop either, but you can game on it, right? You can game on that model that I have there without NVIDIA graphics, with the iGPU. So, I mean, they are capable of gaming and doing a pretty good job of gaming, but it's not a gaming laptop. I recommend, when I talk about a gaming laptop, I'm talking about something that is more robust in terms of cooling. It's not about the size. The G14 from Asus for 2024 is like, it's a gaming laptop, but like barely. It's also very much a creator laptop. This one is even less performant. You're really decreasing the wattage. The charger itself is only 140 watts. I mean, it's not a lot of wattage for a system like this. That CPU is going to beat a lot of power. So the GPU as a result is dramatically reduced there. So it's not a gaming laptop. It's plainly put, it's not a gaming laptop. It's a creator laptop, right? That you can game on. So I just want to clear that up. I've had people talk about this as a gaming laptop, and it's really not. It's really not a gaming laptop. We're slowly moving with these thin laptops away from the gaming laptop, but they're still keeping those names. Like, as if I guess it's a marketing thing, right? Like they need to latch onto the gamers as well, right? But if you watch my videos, I say it all the time. I don't often daily drive a gaming laptop, what I call a gaming laptop, which is a larger, thicker chassis, like the HP Omen, the 16-inch, the big ones, the normal ones, those are gaming laptops, right? They have a thicker chassis, they have better cooling, they have significantly more watts that go to the system. You can use them for other things as well, but they are gaming laptops, right? This here is a creator-style laptop, professional laptop that you can game on. Lots of laptops now, you can game on them. Even just Intel Arc iGPUs, AMD iGPUs, you can game on them, geared towards creators. And this is a creator laptop, very portable, very thin. It is very premium. When you look inside, it has a beautifully robust screen, as you can see reflected in it. Gorgeous OLED on the screen. Really, actually a gorgeous OLED. It is a really nice screen, right? It's a beautiful OLED. You're not going to be able to see it on the camera there, but it is a beautiful OLED screen. Really, really nice. Reflective, which I like. Some people don't. The issue then comes down to price. This is an exceptionally expensive laptop. In Canada, this is 3,000 Canadian dollars. 3,000 Canadian dollars. That's crazy. In the US, I mean, even if you do the conversion rate, it's actually quite a bit better in the United States. And in the US, I could probably justify this as like, alternative to like a Dell XPS or something like that, right? With a really beautiful OLED screen, really nice keyboard for doing work. The CPU in here is very capable when it's just the CPU going. It's not going to push that 185H to its full potential like it would in a thicker chassis, but for what it is, it actually does a very good job. It's basically a creator laptop That's all that it is. Very nice creator laptop. So I think we need to really evaluate these type of laptops here from a creator sense. Putting it into a gaming category and comparing it against gaming laptops, it's just going to get crushed, right? Like it just can't compete against gaming laptops. Even 14-inch ones like the the Legion 5 Slim 14-inch, the Asus G14 are just going to crush this thing in performance. And then you're going to be comparing it to creator style laptops, which potentially are expensive. Sometimes creator laptops are expensive, but I think that, for what you're getting out of this here, it's pretty expensive. You were buying into a nice little metal package with a nice screen, some little NVIDIA graphics in there so you can do a little gaming, accelerate your workflow. 185H processor, sure, probably actually kick that down to like a 155H or even a 135H, or throw in some AMD or something like that. I think you'd be better served with it. But that's the review here. It's all right. I'll put it that way.